Hello again. We're going to do number formation this time. So we're going to start with 0. And 0 starts in the same way that a k would start. So I'll show you here. Curl around, down. And if you stop there, it would be a k. But you just continue on. And you have your 0. But try that again. Just watch me slowly. Curl around and back. Curl around and back. Okay, so I'm going to scooch over here. Now if you're practicing at home, you can maybe go halfway along with your zeros. I'm going to go into 1. Now 1 is the easiest one really, except you have to remember you don't start on the line. It goes down to the line. So straight down. Number 1. Don't put any little flicks and things at the bottom there. Just a straight line down is enough. That's number 1. And again, straight line down. And straight line down. Okay, so number 2. Number 2 has a curly back and pointy knees. Okay, so curl around, stop, and straight back. Curl around, stop, and straight back along that line. Now he goes the other way. He doesn't. That's not a cut there, so it's facing the other way. He's almost looking backwards. Curl around, stop, and back for the pointy knees. So there's his pointy knees. So you can imagine that's kind of like his head, and here's his curly back, and his pointy knees here. He's like kneeling down. Number 3 faces the same way as number 2, so it's back facing backwards. So number 3, curl around, stop, curl around, stop. That's all it is. So you have to make sure you stop there, and then you just do another curl around. Curl around, stop, curl around, stop. And again, curl around, stop, curl around, stop. Now if your child is facing the other way, a good idea might be to just have the numbers up here. And you can, especially the ones that they kind of make mistakes with, if they kind of mirror them, if you get them the opposite way, just write it up in the corner and then you can refer to it. You can point to it and say, remember, this is the way we do it. Okay, so when they're practicing themselves. So number 4, straight down, straight across, and I kind of think cross his legs. Kind of looks like he's got his legs crossed then. Straight down, straight across, lift your pencil. It's down to cross the legs. Straight down, straight across, you lift the pencil. Down to kind of cross the legs there. Now number 5, some of you might not write your number 5 like this, some parents at home, but it's much easier for them to get a nice kind of neat edge on the number 5. Sometimes it ends up looking a little too roundy if you don't do it like this one. So you go straight down, curly tail, back up, so you lift your pencil and put his hat on. Straight down, curly tail, and put his hat on. Now if you didn't do that, if you started up here, sometimes boys and girls will rush it and it ends up looking like an S, like a shape, so they'll just curl and go around in a curly way, so it won't have those sharp turns there. So it's much better to practice straight down, curly tail, back up to put his hat on. Number 6 is kind of like a cut. You could almost show a cut like that. There's a cut, and then you just continue on into the belly. So I'm going to show you there. So curl around like a cut, and then you go in, keep on curling inwards into his belly. So number 6. So you can do it like that, like it's super cut shape, or you can start a bit more tall. So I'll stick with the curly one. So start like a cut, and you just keep on curling in. Start like a cut, and you just keep on curling in. Okay, number 7 is almost like a Z, a Z letter. So if you were to do a Z, it would be straight across and zigzag back. So his knees are under his head. So you don't go straight down. Zigzag back, and you'd be zigzagging on again, wouldn't you, for a Z? But 7 is just 2 parts of that. straight across, and zigzag back, straight across, zigzag back. So you don't have to do that extra bit there for that you would for a Z letter. Straight across and zigzag back. Now the letter or number 8 is like a S shape. Start like a S, so it's not two snowballs sitting on top of each other. It's like a snake. So curl around and curl back. Here's your S. But I just lifted the pen to show you this. You don't actually lift the pen. You can just curl back to the finish line. Now if your child can't manage that, I'll show you the easier way, the kind of beginner way now. So you do your same letter, and then you just go straight back. You see the way it's kind of like an easy, like a beginner version of it. So start like that, and then just try to make it curly as they get better. So it's curl around, curl back, and finish. So they'll get good. If they start like this, with a bit more practice of the curls, they'll get to this eventually. And number 9 is he's in the cut team really. He starts like a cut, but the cut doesn't sit on the bottom here. Okay, he's the only one in the cut team that doesn't sit in the bottom. So the cut is up here, floating. Cut, curl around, straight up, and straight down. Now numbers aren't really in the same family as letters anyway, so it's not really in the cut team. But just remember how it starts. So curl around, straight up, straight down. And you can see that he's standing on his very skinny leg. You don't really see that in letters unless they're capital letters. Curl around, straight up, straight down. Okay, so that's all the numbers they ever need to learn. Once they've learned them, they can make any number they want with those digits there. And as I was saying before, if they have trouble, if they're putting the backwards or they're starting in the wrong place, always come back to this video. But also you can put the number up here just in the correct way, and they'll remember, oh yeah, you can put a little dot to show them where you start the letters. Put a little dot like that, just show them where you start each letter, and then they'll get practice and they'll be able to do it themselves. Alright, best of luck.